Ladies and gentlemen, en este video tenemos que arreglar una cagada que hice porque pues quedó mal. Tengo que volver a lijar todo este lado porque tenemos que quitarle el self-etching primer que le eché, porque en vez de eso vamos a usar lo que usamos aquí on the roof y del otro lado, que es el epoxy. Con el epoxy va a quedar más chingón porque son dos partes. Es el epoxy, luego se le tiene que echar un activator, se le llama, para que agarre bien. Y el self-etching primer nomás viene in a can, so este es professional and then este es fucking just DIY, you know what I'm saying? Así que vamos a empezar con el cofre primero y luego nos pasamos para acá atrás. I started off sanding the underside of the hood with the maroon scuff pad, and that's actually the part that took the longest. It took 3 hours to sand the whole underside of the hood. But after that, flipped it back over, sanded the whole thing down with 320, making sure to get all the self-etch from all the Thankfully, corners. The self-etch is coming off really easy, and I'm glad I'm redoing this because you can see right there I missed a little rust spot from the previous time when I fixed this, so I'm gonna be able to take that out and make sure it's actually 100% this time. Alright guys, the hood is done, fully sanded in 320. It's fully ready for the epoxy. But I'm gonna wait for a day where it's a little hotter, so we're just gonna go straight to the rear quarter and then move our way down to the door. Oye, también huge shout out to my coworker Lorenzo because he gave me a good price on these tools, man, and I'm happy because this one especially, I finally got a proper DA sander. I mean, obviously you guys seen this one does the job, but I mean, this one just fits a little better in the hand, and I don't know, it's the little things, man. But yeah, I've been looking for a 3-inch as well, and then he also hooked it up with this eraser wheel tool. Right away, as soon as I started using this DA sander, I knew it was a game changer. I had spent a lot of time online looking at them, but I never bought one because they're really expensive. But as soon as this deal popped up, I jumped on it right away, and man, it worked as good as I expected. Alright guys, it's time to take out this rear quarter glass. El otro, si recuerdan, se me quebró porque pues I didn't take the time to go around the edges the whole way through as best as I could with the putty knife. But on this one, we're gonna make sure it comes out perfect, so hopefully this side doesn't break. I started off using the heat gun to loosen the adhesive as much as I could, and that way I could gain any advantage because I did not want to break the glass on this side. I already have to go to the junkyard and I did not want to double my time there, so I just made sure slow and steady to get every inch that I could using the heat gun multiple times, making sure that I do not skip any steps. So I just keep going at it with the rubber mallet and the putty knife inside and out, along with the assistance of my sister here and there. But man, this glass did not come out without a fight.
Come on, bitch! How is it like off all the way? I don't even know.
It's a fucking...
Oh, it's like the rubber?
Yeah, they glued it like it was gonna fly off going 180. Oh, I got it. Oh my God. It took at least 3 hours for me to take off. Fucking A, man. There's so much glue holding this shit on. Let me show you guys. Look at this. They glued it like if it was a track car or something. See, and I had to get through these. 1, 2. Look at all that glue right there, bruh. My God. And then 3 right here. Same hella glue right there. But man, am I happy about that. That is so much work. Now, I could take that tool right there, take all this black shit off, clean up all these edges. I'm gonna take these clips off too so I could get all the self-etch up in there, pero ahí va, ya chingamos, ya quitando ese, ya todo lo demás está más pelada, así que vamos a seguir chingándole. With the experience of removing the other quarter window, I knew right away to go to the reconditioning tool. This thing works magic to remove the adhesive. Along with the wire wheel on the drill and the smaller 3-inch sander, this thing came out clean. Bueno, raza, pues ahí quedó. It actually looks really good. I'm so thankful que tengo todos estos tools, man. That one worked really good. And then this drill right here, lo compré en el Harbor Freight for $22, and it's been working really good since I bought it. And then shout out to Lorenzo because this worked magic. right here. So de aquí ya nomás faltan todas las orillas where we still have self-etching primer. Y luego de ahí podemos quitar todo el papel and then remask the whole thing, clean it up, and get ready to spray some more epoxy, baby. Even though the self-etch was coming off easy, it sucked taking it off from the edges and all the little crevices. It took so much time, but just slow and steady worked out perfect. Then we used the sander to attack the bigger spots, trying to make things go as quick as possible but still doing the best job possible. And then from there we just tore off the old paper and plastic and got ready to mask with the new stuff. Ya sé que están pensando, ¿cómo va el plástico? Pues aquí dice, mire, este lado hacia afuera, this side out, baby. That's how you know. All right, we'll do a little bit of snap action. Ready? And just like that, the Accord is ready for epoxy. I just gotta clean this up a little bit, move the cars. But yeah, I got all the supplies laid out. Aquí está the gun we're gonna use, the Concours LT100 like last time. And then I'm using same thing, the T-Rex epoxy from last time. Same thing. I'm just kind of in a hurry because I just got off work and we got to beat the sun, man. So I could still roll it out into the sun for a little bit. When I first started using this epoxy, I didn't know what to expect because I had never used epoxy before. But the one thing that stood out was how thick it was. But with the activator mixed in there along with the optional 10% reducer, it actually sprayed really well out of the recommended 1.3 tip, which is actually another thing that caught me off guard because usually you would use a 2.0 or something to use epoxy, but the 1.3 worked really good and it laid out really smooth. I decided to start at the bottom and work my way towards the top and back around towards the trunk area, using a medium wet coat on the first coat just to make sure that it tacked up to the metal well, and that way we don't get any runs. But like I said, this epoxy laid down really well for how thick it was, and it should give us a good starting point with the metal again as far as corrosion and rust prevention. Alright, the first coat's looking really good. I'm gonna give it about 5 or 10 minutes, let it flash. We'll do a little bit of a wetter coat on the second one, and that should be all we need. And then again, I don't know why this keeps happening to me. That right there, when I went to go spray this right here, the hose just hit it, man. It's alright though, I can sand it back down, ain't no biggie. So after letting the first coat flash for about 10 or 15 minutes, I started with the second coat, and on the second coat, I did a full wet coat, still making sure to be careful not to get any runs, but I wanted the second coat to give us a good build. That way when it dries, I can go back with the 180 and finish any body work that I need. It should really only be the roof and the passenger side that need the body work because I already worked on this whole driver side. So there isn't really too much to go before we can finally start heading into paint. Plástico. I'm gonna unmask it because I need to back it up into the garage again. But man, does it look good. Let me give you guys another walk around, how it looks. It lays down super good, man. Todavía vamos a tener que hacer poquito más body work over the top of this, pero more or less, it's pretty good. It's still drying a little bit. Man, it looks so good. Look at that. Yes, sir. That's a little bit of filler right here. So ya mañana que es sábado, I'll just finish spraying the trunk, and then I got the hood back there. So those two things will be the last thing I spray with epoxy, and then from there it'll be just straight body work until we spray primer over the top of that, man. But for now, I gotta finish unmasking this, and then I will show you guys again once I take the plastic off how it looks from both sides. Bro, look how good that looks, and that's just epoxy, bro. Oh my god, let's go. Y luego ya mañana que pinte el cofre and the trunk, se va a ver mejor. It's gonna look even better. Alright guys, pues tenemos las partes aquí en el sol. A ver si podemos hacer que se calienten un poquito más porque necesitan que estar a pues cierta temperatura. It's like 65, preferably like 70 degrees. Because right now we're sitting at like 55 degrees. But in a little bit, I'll check it with my little heat, with my little temperature gun. And hopefully we can spray, man. Porque después de esto, no sé si vaya a tocar un día bueno. The weather in November just, you know, it ain't fucking ideal, pero we're trying to do what we can. It's been like 20 minutes. Vamos a ver qué temperatura tienen. A la verga, 100? Honey? 102? What? It worked. 199. Okay. Let's go. Hell yeah. Let's go, boy. Now I just gotta wipe them off real quick with the wax and grease remover. Put the canopy over the top and we can spray, baby. Let's go. That makes me so happy, man. So from spraying the day before, I was already in a groove. So right away, I knew exactly what I needed to do and I felt comfortable. So I started mixing up the epoxy real quick and just got to spraying right away. So for those of you at home wondering what I'm using, it's the Concours LT100 from Eastwood. It's an LVLP gun, stands for low volume, low pressure. And this one's different from the one you guys would see people using on YouTube mainly, because those are HVLPs and those require bigger compressors and bigger 240 outlets to be able to run those compressors. But this one, so far I've only used it on the epoxy, but it's worked so good. Again, I'm spraying this epoxy out of the 1.3 tip and so far I'm pleased with the results, man. I mean, I can't really ask it to spray the epoxy much better, and I'm still wondering if I'm going to use it with the base coat and clear coat. It just depends if I'm able to find a paint booth, which I'm still in the process of right now. I'm trying to see if I can call around and see if anyone will rent it out to me, because I have nowhere else to spray besides here. And I mean, spraying outside is okay with the epoxy and the high build primer, but once you get into base coat and clear, you definitely want to do that inside. Bueno, pues ahí quedó. The parts are looking so good, man. Finally, the hood has epoxy on it. It's protected from corrosion. And same with the trunk. They're both looking good. I have them in the sun para que se acaben de secar, pero man, I'm happy I was able to spray and the weather played ball, you know what I'm saying? So from here, now all we have to do is finish doing body work over the epoxy, and then after the body work we could spray high build primer over that, sand that down, and then that gets us ready for paint. But with that being said, hope to see you guys on the next one. Peace.